see who gets a free vacation on the early.
Amy and my daughter Sarah. I've been an officer with the Iowa Falls Police Department for the past 10 years and an adjunct professor of criminal justice at Ellsworth College for the last 5 years. And I'd like to start tonight by telling you a short story. There's a government employee sitting in his office, and just out of sheer boredom, he decides to see what's in the old file cabinet in the corner of his office. So he's poking through the contents, and he comes across an old brass lamp. And he thinks, gosh, this will look nice on my mantle at home. So he takes it home with him, and sitting at home, he's polishing up the old lamp, and poof, a genie appears. And the genie says, for setting me free, I will grant you 3 wishes. So tell me what they are. The government employee thinks for a few minutes, and he says, try this out, see if it's real or not. So make it a simple one. Genie, I wish for an ice cold beer. Poof! An ice cold mug of beer appears, and the government employee drinks it down. Now he's had a chance to think, and sees this is really kind of working. He says, for my second wish, I'd like to be on an island surrounded by beautiful women. Poof! He's on an island. Gorgeous girls all around him. Great, this really does work. And Genie says, sir, what is your third wish? And the government employee says, for my third wish, I wish I would never have to work again. Poof! He's back in his government office. Now, it's very unfortunate, but this is the view that most of us hold when we think about our government. A slow, inefficient bureaucracy, giving us very little in return for our hard-earned and highly taxed dollar. Well, we can take comfort in the fact that Michael Bahr is a young public servant who's going to destroy this stereotype. His simple campaign slogan says it all. It's about the people. Not, it's all about money, it's all about the latest passing fad, or it's all about making sure that I come out looking good regardless of what I know to be right and wrong. Those could be the campaign slogans of several other politicians you probably know. It's about people. And Michael knows this, and more importantly, he believes this. Some might say Michael is too young and has no experience. After all, what on earth does a 20-year-old know about running a city? Well, I can tell you that when Michael was a student of mine in an ethics class at ECC last year, we would often hang around after class and discuss state, federal, and local issues. And it became evident to me that Michael has a vision and maturity beyond his years. He also has a passion for public service and politics that is extremely rare in a man of his youth. And I don't know how many of you know this, but Michael has spent time as an intern in Washington, meeting and learning from some of the greatest, most experienced, and brilliant political minds in our country, and Ted Kennedy. I also know that, got a Ted Kennedy one there. I chalked that one up.
Senator from Massachusetts.
The senior senator from Massachusetts. Yes, sir. I also know that Michael understands the ideas of common sense and efficiency need to be brought back into our government. Let me give you an example. The Pythagorean theorem has 24 words. The Lord's Prayer has 66 words. Archimedes' principle has 67 words. The 10 Commandments, 179 words. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, 286 words. The U.S. Declaration of Independence has 1,300 words. The U.S. government regulations on the sale of cabbage has 26,911 words. Do you think we're lacking efficiency in our government? Do you think we're getting the most bang for our buck from our government? Obviously, the ideas of common sense and efficiency are lost on much of our government. And years from now, Michael Bahr's legacy will be that he brought those ideas back, starting with government right here in Iowa Falls. So if you run across somebody who asks, how can a young, inexperienced guy like Michael be a political leader, ask them to consider these 3 politicians from history. And pay attention because there's going to be a quiz. Candidate A consulted with astrologists, had 2 mistresses, chain smoked, and drank 8 to 10 martinis a day. Candidate B was kicked out of office twice, slept until noon, used opium in college, and drank a quart of brandy every evening. Candidate C was a decorated war hero, a vegetarian, did not smoke, drank the occasional beer, and never had an illicit affair. So who are these mystery candidates? Candidate A, FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Candidate B, who used opium in college and drank all the brandy, Winston Churchill. Candidate C, war hero, vegetarian, all-around good guy, Adolf Hitler. The point is, substance will always win over symbolism. Michael Bahr is a man of substance. In closing, I would like to leave Michael with a quote from the great communicator Ronald Reagan, who said, "Politics is not a bad profession. If you succeed, there are many rewards. If you disgrace yourself, you can always write a book." Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to introduce soon-to-be Iowa Falls City Councilman Michael Bahr.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Sergeant Emerson, for your generous and heartfelt introduction. And I'll make sure I forward that to Ted Kennedy, by the way. People like Mike Emerson are the true definition of heroes, and his support means a lot to me. They do. I thank him and people like him across the city for all they do to ensure that we can do the things we do and live the lives that we live. So thank you very much. I also want to thank you all for being here on this special night. Obviously, it's a special night for me. I'm starting a campaign, and it's also a special night for the city because change begins tonight. I also want to thank Verv Davidson, who has the toughest job of anybody in this room, putting up with me. And I thank him for what he's already done, and I look forward to what we will do together. You know, I've had a lot of opportunities in my life. I've had political opportunities, I've had personal opportunities. But each time I had to make a choice, the choice for me was always simple. I chose Iowa Falls. And in my 20 years in Iowa Falls, I've learned a lot about the scenic city. But the most important and most profound lesson I've learned is this. At the end of the day, Iowa Falls is great because it's good. So, with that greatness in my heart, with my family and friends behind me, and with the people of Iowa Falls ahead of me, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for the City Council of Iowa Falls. What this campaign is offering in November is a vision. Not a pie-in-the-sky political promise, but a real, down-to-earth vision of what we can become. I'm running for City Council not merely to oppose what is wrong, but to set our city on a new course. 2 years ago, as many of you know, I ran for office and lost by 9 votes. You might say that, in the immortal words of a guy who once called a Muhammad Ali fight, I got knocked out. It's true, I didn't get enough votes to accomplish this goal, but we achieved a victory anyway. We made people realize that city elections and municipal elections matter. They matter. What's talked about in them matters. Candidates matter. And I'm not going to make a lot of promises in this campaign. I'm no Herbert Hoover. I'm not going to promise a car in every garage or a chicken in every pot. But I will make this one. That's this. On the City Council, there will be times that I get knocked down. But the deal that I'll make with you is this. I will always get back up and give it one more try. So for the last 2 years, I've had the opportunity to watch our city. And I've seen the City Council micromanage departments. I've seen them waste money on stuff that doesn't matter. I've seen them do nothing for economic development. And after 2 years of watching this City Council, I came to one conclusion. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. But you know, it's not the magnitude of our problems that concerns me, it's the smallness of our politics. We have big important issues that we need to solve. And the biggest issues, it seems like the City Council doesn't want to solve them. Instead, they're more concerned about who the mayor pro tem is going to be. They're concerned about making Washington Avenue look pretty for visitors. They want to have angled parking and medians on Washington Avenue. While we have an 80-year-old sewer system that can burst at any time. We have a bridge that's questionable as to whether it's safe to drive on or not. We need people on our City Council that are concerned with leadership, not ego trips. We need to change policies. We need to end micromanaging. Micromanaging doesn't work. It creates less efficiency and more bureaucracy. It just doesn't work. My parents had to fill in a hole at the end of the driveway the other day. And I said to the city guy that came to do it, I said, you know, you better check, you better call Mark Mesa before you do that. Because the city council likes to know what's going on in every aspect of the city. So before, I told him to make sure he checked with the city council before he filled in the hole at the end of our driveway. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. They don't need to, we have a department head. Let the department head do it. We also need to change infrastructure. We need to invest in infrastructure. I have no problem with making the city look wonderful. It needs to be cleaned up a little. I'm not disagreeing with that. However, how do we can't neglect the foundation upon which we got to build that. We need to fix the sewer system. We need to fix the bridge. We need all kinds of stuff that we need to fix first. Then let's go make the city look pretty. We have potholes on. I drove down Jason the other day, about sunk into the road. That's how big the potholes were. It's crazy. But let's be honest, we also need to change the culture in our city. A lot of people don't really know who our city council members are. And if they do, they don't know when they're up for re-election or when they're up and what they're talking about and things like that. They don't feel that their opinions matter. The people of Iowa Falls have lost their voice. And my goal in this campaign is to give it back. When I was a junior in high school, I had an opportunity to attend American Legion Boys State down at Camp Dodge in Des Moines. And just in case anybody doesn't know, Boys State is a program that's run by the American Legion. And basically what you do is you go for a week and you make a city and a state. And you elect officials, you elect everybody, and you run the city and you run the state for a week and you learn about government and you learn about this country and things like that. And while I was there, I ran for governor. And I lost that nomination by 10 votes. You've at least got to give me this. I'm consistent, okay? Consistency is important, and I am consistent. You've at least got to give me that. After my week there, I learned the usual stuff that you learn. I learned about government. I learned about compromise. I learned about all that stuff. But I also learned that good government on any level works best when it's all about people, when everybody has an opportunity to voice their opinion. The time has come. We spent a lot of time talking. I spent 2 years talking. There's been a lot of people in town that have been talking for years about how the city council needs to change. We need new representatives. We need new people. The time for talking is over. The time for action is now. We need to change, and it starts tonight. So, my friends, I'm asking you to join me in this cause for change. This is the most important election that we've had in recent memory, and no one can afford to stand on the sidelines or sit this one out. So I want you to do me a favor for the next 80 days. And it's 80 days away. It seems like a lot, but it's actually not. 80 days is not a lot. It's not a lot of time to win an election. And I want you to tell your friends, your neighbors, your parents, your dog, your pet bird, anybody you can think of about this campaign. Because anyone you can think of, bring them to the polls, make them excited, get them excited again, bring them to events, bring them to anything you can think of, make their vote count. And then I want you to sit back and enjoy the ride and get ready, because a new day is on its way. Poet Henry David Thoreau once wrote, "I cannot make my days longer, so I strive to make them better." This campaign isn't going to be able to make our days longer. I wish I had that much power. But what I am sure of is this, that if we all come together and join in this cause for change, our campaign will make our days better. And I too have a quote in closing from Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan once said, "We have every right to dream heroic dreams." This level of politics is where dreams become a reality. And with your help, in November, my dream will become a reality. We've got 80 days. Let's go out and make it happen. We've got ice cream. Anybody wants ice cream, you're more than welcome to stay. Anybody wants signs, buttons, things like that, you are more than welcome to have them. Tell your friends, bring some, take some home with you. Give some out to your friends. And remember, we like Mike. So we've got 80 days to win this election. Let's go out and make it happen. Thanks, everybody. And Bourbon, I tested the ice cream earlier, so it's good. I mean, Verb tested it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I had to have the official.
Thanks a lot.
What have you been up to since Saturday?
I gotta head off.
Since Saturday.
My daughter,
Yeah, and then I had the whole day.
From 7th
down
grade.
to Gators today 'cause I
starting
started
junior high.
back into the
I think
fall
I'm more
on
scared than she
Monday.
is.
Joe, when we roll it.
You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Do they really?
Nelsworth starts right after. Down there too. They're registered and they'll have two.
Say, sir?
Yeah.
Who is actually, like you said before, who's actually leaving? Is there seats open?
I don't know. There's 3 seats open. Diane Meyer, Jody Anderson, and Frankie Jarks are up. Who's running? I don't know. We'll find out.
You don't know if they're rerunning again?
I have no
They
idea.
can take
Rocky
papers out
is,
Wednesday.
Mayor Lavelle's not running for mayor. So
I know that.
whether one of those guys runs for mayor, I don't know. But unfortunately, they're not going to say anything until they have to,
Does
until
somebody
they
need
take out
that
papers.
form?
So we'll find out when everybody else does.
Huh?
That's 2 years ago. I didn't know until the day I read the paper who took out papers.
Jerry will.
We just don't know.